We've learned within the last few hours that Lucid is about to begin deliveries of its new Air model, Air Pure model, but Lucid have just revealed something that I've got to say has me very impressed and kind of excited. Hello my friends, welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking, great to see you. Welcome to all the new subscribers and welcome back everyone else. Thank you for tuning into the channel, for subscribing, and by the way, to those of you who don't subscribe and you watch the videos quite often, which is about half of you, if you do subscribe, you'll actually get more of our videos in your feed because we're doing about 6 a day. You're probably not seeing all of them. Based on my experience, my research, I've put YouTube on my TV, and if I'm not signed in and subscribed, I don't see all the videos, basically. That's just what happens. So I suggest you subscribe if you want to be updated and be able to see our videos. And obviously you're not going to watch all of them. There's a lot of videos there. Most of you aren't anyway, but you probably want to at least see what's available. And you won't be able to do that unless you are actually subscribed to the channel. Lucid have just revealed their new Gravity SUV. It actually looks very similar to a Chinese electric car, which is not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. The Xpeng G9. I like the G9. I'm a big fan of the style of it. This to me looks remarkably similar to the G9. Very simple, very stylish, understated, and quite elegant as well. And let's be frank here. It's not going to be cheap. It's going to be very expensive, but the technology in these cars is extremely impressive. Now, if I was looking away from Tesla, if I didn't want to buy a Tesla, and if I wanted to spend a fair bit of money on EV, I personally would not be going to BMW, Audi, or Mercedes. This is what I would personally be looking at. Of course, only for US buyers. If you're anywhere else in the world, yeah, you're not going to have to get one of these for a long time. If you're in the US, definitely worth looking at. Lucid today announced new details and it released fresh teasers of the Gravity SUV, which will join the Air in the company's lineup of luxury EVs from 2024. As announced in its Q3 earnings report last week, Lucid plans to open reservations for the Gravity SUV in 2023. And they also said they have 34,000 reservations for the Air luxury sedan as of the 7th of November 2012. Now, for those of you wondering, Lucid Group, how are they going with their financials? Well, I hope you didn't actually invest in the stock. When Seeking Alpha was like saying, you should do it, we're betting our houses on Lucid. And I was saying, don't do that, it's too risky. And what happened? Those people lost, we're talking, hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm sorry to those of you who lost a lot of money, and listen to those people who said they were literally taking out reverse mortgages on their houses to invest in Lucid. They literally lost like 60 to 70% of their investment. So, that's just paper value. Maybe they'll get it back someday. I don't know. I don't think so, but it could happen. But I hope it wasn't you. Now, Lucid actually announced its financial results for the third quarter of 2022. They reported a net loss of $670 million and a revenue of $195.5 million on deliveries of 1,398 vehicles. Now, personally, the net loss, I don't see that as a big deal at all. When you're building a company, you're going to get losses. That's really an investment figure. So I don't personally call that a net loss at this point in time. Now, if that existed for, say, 10 years or more, then I wouldn't be calling this an investment. I'd just be saying it's a net loss. Yeah, fair point. The problem for me with Lucid is the 1,400 deliveries, because that's so far below what the company said it would deliver on. Now, the net loss widened compared to the $524 million reported after the first 3 quarters of 2021, while revenue exploded, though, compared to just $232,000 in the same period last year. As previously announced, the EV startup achieved a record quarterly production of 2,282 vehicles. That's more than triple their second quarter results. Now, to give you some context, you've got to look to the Chinese. There are luxury Chinese electric car manufacturers which make very impressive EVs as well. They are fairly far ahead of Lucid in terms of actual production, and they do seem to have ramped production up much quicker than Lucid. I would still say Lucid has maybe a slight technological advantage in terms of their actual outright performance, but their production performance is definitely an issue. Now, Lucid's entered the third quarter with $3.85 billion in cash equivalents, and investments, which Lucid says will fund it at least into the fourth quarter of 2023. That's a lot of cash burn. Hopefully, this SUV can come out soon. I think this is the real product. I personally think this is the product that Lucid should have invested in first. In my opinion, SUVs are the real market here. And I was surprised when Lucid, the first product they made was a sedan. Maybe they decided, years ago, that's what they wanted to do. And they then were kind of a bit of sunk cost buyers, stuck with it, maybe. But anyway, we're here now. Lucid says it's currently finalizing the vehicle design and specifications in parallel with continuing the expansion of its AMP-1 factory in Casa Grande, Arizona. Here's what they said. Gravity builds upon everything we've achieved thus far, driving further advancements of our in-house technology to create a luxury performance SUV like none other. Just as Lucid Air redefined the sedan category, so too will Gravity impact the world of luxury SUVs, setting new benchmarks across the board. One thing I am a little confused on, maybe you guys can clear this up for me. I'm sure someone can. They're saying they're in the midst of finalizing the design. Now, I would have thought these photos showed us the design. I thought this was the design that we're looking at right here. So that's a bit confusing to me. So Lucid is saying that the Gravity SUV will set itself apart from the competition with a previously unattainable combination of supercar performance and seating for up to 7 adults. The Lucid electric SUV will build upon Lucid's core DNA of luxury, spaciousness, performance, and efficiency, promising more range than any other EV on the market except for the Lucid Air sedan. What does that mean? Well, that would mean it would have to have a minimum range of 400 miles if they're saying it's going to have more range than any other vehicle on the market except for the Lucid Air sedan. But that promise is complete hogwash, complete, utter baloney. Why do I say that? Because this vehicle won't be made for at least another year and a quarter. Lucid themselves, they don't know what other car companies are going to have. There will be plenty of Chinese vehicles on the market that have way more range than that. There already are. There's already at least 10 models in China you can buy with more range than that. So it's a great car, just Lucid making some promises. Maybe they're just talking about the US market, and maybe they're right. Maybe there won't be any other vehicles in the US market within the next 12 months with the range that this vehicle will have. Let's wait and see. So Lucid says that Gravity will make full use of the Lucid Space concept, offering flexible seating configurations for 5, 6, or 7 adults in 2 and 3 row seating configurations to serve nearly any lifestyle or need. On the tech front, the SUV will feature next generation glass cockpit high resolution displays powered by the next generation of the Lucid UX software interface. Now, looking at the car, there's clearly some distinctive elements you can see that they're carried over from the Lucid sedan. Like I said, I think it looks really good. You can see it's got similar pop-out door handles. It's got really impressive rear seats. A lot of space in that interior from what I can tell. Lucid Group's Senior Vice President of Design, Derek Jenkins, said this: "It is both a supercar in disguise and an SUV with flexible passenger and cargo space that seems impossibly big relative to the exterior size of the vehicle. And it does this all with Lucid's distinctive post-luxury design inspired by California." I've been saying this about EVs for a long time now. You look at the outside and you think, oh yeah, that looks similar to this gasoline-powered car. Then you look at the inside and you think, why is the inside so much bigger? For example, why does the interior of, say, a BYD Atto 1 look so much more spacious than the much bigger externally Toyota Corolla? Big advantage of EVs, much more interior space generally, but only if they're built on a bespoke ground-up electric vehicle platform. If you're going to go and buy a BMW and it was made on a gasoline-powered platform or a Mercedes, well, you're probably going to have a transmission tunnel with nothing in it. There's other compromises. It won't have that kind of interior space. So definitely consider that when you buy an EV. And I'll tell you here on the channel, if a car is made from the ground up to be an EV, if it wasn't, I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't buy it personally. I don't know why you would. Why do that when there's other options that you can buy where they're made from the ground up? Lucid is saying they're going to provide more details on the full lineup in early 2023. I'll have the video as soon as that happens. Personally, I'm excited for this car. I do think it's going to be a vehicle that will be definitely worth owning if you're willing to spend more than $120,000 on a car. Personally, that doesn't include me, but I'm sure there's many people that will love this. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this car in the comment section below, and I'll see you again on the next video. Bye-bye.